has over 6,000 YouTube subscribers. He has 1.4K videos. So he is a king of content. And we want to break down exactly what's working with him, what's not working with him for generating leads on social media, using his real estate app to do so, and how to break out of this cycle that realtors are in with having to buy the Zillow leads and really rely on that, right? Put your eggs in a lot of different baskets, so to speak. So let's get into your successful content and kind of the systems and strategies and blueprints that you welcome, Phillip.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know you, tell us a little bit about how you got started in real estate and kind of where you are today.
Yeah, it's interesting. I kind of grew up in the real estate industry. My parents are both real estate brokers. My aunt was a real estate broker. My cousins were mortgage lenders. So it kind of came like just in the blood, we'll say it that way. But I got my license back in 2008. Was a great time to get your real estate license. And so I started out basically in Chicago doing BPOs, foreclosures, all of that nature. But really my career started in real estate, and I was selling basically I was selling vacation homes on the water near a lake in Chicago. So it was very second homey, more higher and cut homes. And but we really had a niche there because it was just we sold one area, one style home, and that was it. So I got basically my job for the first couple of years was really just convincing as many people as possible to basically buy a second home at Walmart.
Yeah. So that's interesting, and that kind of probably that route in like the niche market probably helped you to kind of recreate that niche in Northwest Arkansas when you got there.
It sure did. Yeah, it made it a lot easier because I saw what a niche could do and what's possible for it, or when you niche down. And so I knew that I could reproduce something like that here in Northwest Arkansas.
Yeah, it's almost like the old saying, like, if you're marketing to everyone, you're marketing to no one.
Yep. Yeah, my common phrase is like you said, is if you're everything to everybody, you're nothing to no one. Same thing where it's like I always get a little bit perturbed in a good way, where it's like agents will do they do everything, and when someone hears that, it's like it doesn't really niche them down, or at least be specialized in some fashion.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit, since you are this content king, if you will, in this niche market, how you started to do that from the print days, when that was kind of happening, and kind of to where you are now with all these followers and all that kind of thing.
Yep. So I moved down here. So where originally what it started from, it was not necessarily intentional. It was intentional but unintentional. We'll say it that way. But when I first moved down here, I got my license. I moved down here in 2020, and then I got my license officially moved over in 2022. Moving your license from Illinois during COVID days was, we'll say, quite challenging, just because everyone was out of office. So it took me really about a year to get everything moved down. It would have been faster for me, honestly, to just redo the whole test all over again, honestly. And so anyways, so 2022 and started, and originally started with just postcards because that's what I was more used to, and doing mailings, doing email or blast for certain neighborhoods, your typical kind of stuff, doing open houses, etc. But what happened is that I knew when I was doing research to move down here, there wasn't a lot of content that was easy to find based on what is going on in the area itself. And it really started out as more of a passion thing, like, hey, this is an amazing area. I did a lot of research moving down here. I could have gone anywhere I wanted to in America, but I chose here. What if I just made content, not necessarily about real estate, but why I chose Northwest Arkansas versus anywhere else in America? And I just started spelling out why the reasons were I chose here versus there versus Asheville versus Nashville or Florida or Tennessee or whatever it was. And I started putting those videos out, and it was intentional to obviously start having conversations with people, but it quickly turned into, oh, this could be a great vessel to get clients. And so really just started going from there. And I edited my first 50 videos. I had a little background of video editing, so I knew kind of what I was doing when it came to shooting videos. So that made the cost go down quite a bit because I didn't have the money necessarily to pay out editors to do my stuff for me. And I had my niche background, meaning like, okay, I know what I was looking for when people were moving down here. And my logic was, let's say in theory, there's 7 questions that people ask before they move down to a place, whether it's like schools or safety or economic growth, or is it worth it? But at the end of the day, what people are really asking for is I'm going to move my family all the way from California to Arkansas, which is the
Ah,
questionable in the first place. You have to say, is the journey worth it in the end? And so when I kind of frame those things out, when I answer those, let's say 7 questions, the eighth question is, okay, who's a great real estate agent there? They don't need to ask that eighth question because I'm the one.
ding,
So
ding,
that
ding.
was kind of my logic. That was kind of my logic with all my videos. Even still to this day, I've really never changed my logic when it comes to making my YouTube content.
Yeah, and truthfully, like that's where a lot of realtors miss the mark is like,
Mhm.
don't talk about real estate.
Yeah. Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
talk
I mean,
about your area.
there's it's backwards logic because most real estate agents are like, or any sort of person, any sort of like business position, it's like, oh, I want to talk about my product. But really, at the end of the day, it's like you really want to talk about the 5, 7, 8 steps before they get to the product itself, which are homes. And so if you can be that guide, that almost like that, we'll say Obi-Wan Kenobi kind of feel, or Jedi experience, where it's like you're just leading them down the path to where they want to go, then there's really no reason to ask the next question, which is, who do I contact there? And so I started making resources and making everything that I would want to be given to me if I was about to start that journey moving. And a lot of agents go the backwards way, where it's like, I'm going to start telling you about what I need to sell you versus what you actually need to get them to actually help them make the proper decision, or make something other choice, maybe a different direction, but helping them make that choice of actually getting to the area itself. Let me kind of help one agency. If you're looking to get into YouTube content, the way that I do it is I actually have a Google document with like 7 or 8 different ways that I gather content through the area. Mostly it's newsletters. Mostly it's like newscasts, like obviously like Fox News or CBS or NBC or local stations. I have like just publications that are local to area, and I gather that every single week, and I pull out like the top 5 or 10 articles, and I
Wow.
see which ones make are relevant to people that are actually moving to the area. That's the core thing right there, is that it
Yeah.
has to be relevant to people moving to the area, and then I actually start making my content based off that.
Cool.
Yep.
That's a
And
great idea.
if I don't have enough content, then I go back to the tried and true video content, which I have like 100 ideas for, which are like the best things about Northwest Arkansas, or the worst things about Northwest Arkansas, or crazy things happening in Bella Vista, or whatever it is. I have these core like 100 videos I can always go back to that I shot like 2 years ago that I can just pull from if I'm running out of content.
Yeah, yeah. The news cycle is a great idea
Mhm.
because those
Yeah.
are like
Yeah.
the hot topics.
Yep. But the what's really the bread and butter, people think that my YouTube is really like the golden goose, which it
Yeah.
really probably isn't. I send out an email every single week on Friday at the exact same time, and it comes with some really important articles that are relevant to basically people that are moving here. And then I add like a little personal message with photos of my life for that week every single week. So it
Wow.
adds a humanization factor. So it's not some cookie cutter email, but I get so many responses every single week of people replying back to my email. I met clients the other day and like, hey, I saw you took a trip to Michigan, went to go get Star Wars figures. Like it happens all the time. And I
Wow.
have that, that's like around like, I think it's like 2,600 or 3,000 people in that email list I get out every single week.
Wow,
Mhm.
that's crazy. So it's like it goes back to know, like, trust
Yep.
every single
Exactly. Yep.
time,
Yep.
right? So, you could be standing on your head in a YouTube video.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
all the best things,
Yeah. Exactly.
but the responses are coming from that human
Mhm.
person that they
Yep.
wanna connect with to sell them their home.
Exactly. Yep. And they text me, they email me, they ask me questions about the area. So like it opens up a lot of communications that would never been opened up if it was just on YouTube, or, just a standard basic email, that's like that's almost automated somewhere.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you build that email yourself
Mhm.
every single week with the
Yep.
personal stuff.
Yep.
That's
So I
fun.
have I do have helpers, people that help me. I have my Google Doc. I tell them the articles I want to focus on. They make it for me. They put the pictures in there. I do the personal message and I kind of get it scheduled out.
Oh, very cool.
Yep. Mhm.
So let's talk a little bit about your HomeStack app.
Yeah. Yep.
What was kind of your reason behind wanting to get a totally branded app for your niche market in the first place?
Yep. So as we've talked about before, I kind of separate my buyers, which are relos essentially, and then my people who are local here, and they're looking for different things. And I never talk about my app the app that you obviously with the HomeStack app on YouTube ever. I want to keep that completely separate because it's just too different. I want to talk to, I'm very big on this, but I want to, if I'm talking to somebody, I want to be specific with my language. And so I am specific with people that are looking to move here, and I'm specific with people that are looking to, that are here currently and are not, haven't not purchased a home yet. With the app, it was really important to me, and I loved your guys' app because basically I wanted a Zillow copycat that was just better and had more functionality and features and more, we'll say, let's say it this way, more friendly towards real estate agents, obviously, and meaning towards you, the owner of the app, versus Zillow, which is not the case. And so what was important to me is I wanted to start onboarding people with a good experience and have more functionality and more communication, as well as a better client agent relationship on an app, and that was what you guys provided. And so with that, I was like, this is a no-brainer overall. And so that was kind of the idea, was like, we have a lot of people that move here that are leasing properties right now, and a lot of times I can't, if they don't buy right away, there's a good chance I'm not going to get them as a client per se. So if I can provide them with a top of funnel system, which is going to be the app, they can start browsing properties, get used to it, and we can start that communication process. Eventually they can go from lease. They moved here 2 years ago. They got a job from Walmart. They started leasing, and then now they're using the app, and now eventually they want to buy a home. And so that's a kind of an easy on-ramp, we'll say top of pyramid, top of funnel, where they can start entering that relationship.
Yeah, yeah. So tell us a little bit about your lead gen with the app.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
run social media ads,
Yes, yes, I do. Yep.
and you have tested how
Yeah.
many social media ads? It's
So
like a
I
crazy
just did
number.
I just did this the other day again, so I have a lot of, it's funny. So I started with a couple, I started using the app about 2 years ago, and I really didn't leverage it to its full potential until probably like the last 6 months. And I recommend this for anyone who's going to purchase this app. One thing that's important to me is that I really don't want to build out a real estate team per se, not my jam. I don't, anyways, this is a different story, but
Everyone's
I
jam.
am,
It's not everyone's
yeah,
jam.
yeah. But I am all about a referral network. So what nice thing for me is that I do refer out all my leads to agents, and they love them. They love, so if anyone's not like, they don't want to start a team, this is another option that I thought about as well, as a referral network. So I started a referral network with a couple different agents, and they get the leads from the actual app itself. But taking a step backwards, I did start out with running some, we'll say some standard let's say Facebook ads and Instagram ads, and they didn't convert that well. Meaning I didn't see like people downloading them and then installing it and signing up. But
Yeah.
what happened was I made this, well, I think I told you this really ugly, just stupid ad. And it was just, I don't even think I have a picture of me on it. It's just a picture of like, basically
I think I got them. I
yeah,
think I
you can,
got them.
oh, yeah, right there. That's what it is. And I call them ugly ads. They're nothing fancy, nothing at all. Maybe it's the line, maybe it's the font. I cannot tell you. But once I started running that, I started having huge success. And by what I mean huge, I mean that I'm spending $20 per day, and I'm getting 15 to 20 leads per day of people joining the app.
Wow.
So now the other side of this is that
So you're
the other
spending,
thing,
let's break that down again real
yeah.
quick. You're
Mhm.
going on Facebook,
Yeah.
Meta, right?
Yeah.
Setting
Mhm.
up those ugly ads,
Yes.
and you're spending how much?
$20 per day.
$20 per day
Yep.
advertising the app.
Yes.
And then what's the ROI?
So far we've had a couple closings. My ROI is, I've already paid. So let's say, for instance, let's say run some numbers real quick. Um,
Well, how
if
many leads did you say you get a day? $20 a day
yeah, I have about 700 leads in there right now.
from
Yep.
the ugly ads.
From the ugly ads. From the
Oh
ugly ads. Now,
my.
if I run $20 per day times 365, it's $7,300, which is a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. But on the flip side, with the cost of homes here and referral fees, I mean, it's already paid for itself a few times over with the homes that we've closed. Now, I've never done the work. Like, these are referrals out to other agents, and I'm getting a 30% referral fee, and I have expectations of how I want my leads followed up with. And then we just meet every 2 weeks on a Zoom call, essentially, just to make sure like things are going well for them. And that's probably the most team effect I have. But going back to it, I want to go back to the ads again, is that I still, to this day, I just tried this last week. I made a different ad style. I did different things, tried
Yeah,
things out. I'm like,
what were the ones that weren't working? Like too
um,
easy or too
no, yeah, one ad I tried. I was like, I thought I had like a really good idea. I made a, I started running ads a little bit when the news came out that Zillow will not allow all homes to be on Zillow anymore. That's kind of kind of like, kind of news where it's like, okay, we can talk about that. We know about that, where it's like if you pre-list your home and Zillow catches it, they're not going to put it on Zillow anymore. So I actually made a newspaper looking article that essentially had USA Today and said Zillow's not showing as many homes anymore, essentially. And I ran those ads kind of trying to fear people into, hey, if you're using Zillow, you're totally missing homes. You should
yeah.
download the app instead. And it actually, the numbers, what was interesting, the numbers were about the same as my ugly ad. But what happened was is I was making 10 or 15 to 20 leads per day. I turned my ugly ad off just to see what happens. I was still getting people to click and click it. But as soon as I turned this off, I got down to three leads per day with that ad. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I don't know what is it with that ad. I've tried
You're
newspaper
like, I'm
ads.
gonna crush with this newspaper ad, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'll send it to you later. It's a
Yeah.
really cool ad. It's just I had thought I had a genius idea. Evidently not. But I've ran probably
Well, it's trial and error, right?
yeah.
Sometimes you gotta just try
I'm
things.
always I'm always trying things. It's probably I've done 10 or 15 different trials of like video does not do well. Do not do video. That was a huge mistake. It has to be images,
Mm.
and so I've tried a lot of different images, a lot of different angles and stuff. And man, that ugly ad just continues to work. And eventually, I'm just gonna call it good and say, what it is. Maybe I hit the jackpot. I have no idea, but it worked out super well.
So it's just diss Zillow,
Yeah, yeah, just
basic
Zillow.
typeface,
Mhm. Yeah.
and it's geared towards your niche.
Yes, my niche is essentially people who are looking for homes, housing. So don't be scared about having a blanket thing because Facebook wants to make you successful and spend your money. And as long as Facebook's aware that you're trying to focus on people that are on housing, they will put it on people that are looking for housing. Facebook knows when you're looking for housing on Facebook Marketplace. Facebook
Mhm.
knows when you go to Zillow. Facebook knows when they know everything.
They know
So
when
and
you
it's,
eat,
they
they
know
know
everything.
when you sleep.
So it's like so they know who's looking for
Facebook knows
housing.
all.
Yeah. So don't be too scared. Not be too scared. I really wouldn't not disclose housing because you could get banned. But again, I would not be too concerned. Facebook knows. Facebook knows. So it is going in front of the right people because of
Yeah.
Facebook's behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah. So you have your YouTube channel, you
Mhm.
have your newsletter, you have the real estate app, your
Yep.
Facebook ads. So
Yep.
as far as the app is concerned, you're running the ads,
Yep.
you're getting those leads,
Yep.
and then
Correct.
you're giving those leads to your buyers, agents, and you're just
Correct.
referring, you're not doing any of
Yep.
the work,
Correct. Yep.
and that's where the
That's
ROI
it.
is coming
Yeah.
in.
I mean, I want to not harp, I should say, tell agents who are looking to do this to go your direction for the app. The nice thing that the difference between Zillow and HomeStack is that the people that are actually, if you purchase leads on Zillow, try to get away that as soon as possible. I've had many people who've seen my success here and seen the app that are paying astronomical amounts of money on Zillow. They want to get away from that, and I sympathize with them. And the thing with HomeStack that's different, if you start running ads, if you're already spending, some agents will spend $5,000 to $10,000 per month easy on Zillow ads. If you took $10,000 a month and deployed it to HomeStack app on ads, the amount of leads you will get are insane, first off, and they're warmer than Zillow leads. That's the one thing that's amazing to me is that they're on your app, they're starting to use everything. You're warming them up by either messaging them, giving them notifications, whatever it is, and then by the time they actually get ready to purchase, you've deployed. You're not giving Zillow 50% of your commission. It's all yours. And so as long
Yeah.
as you can reallocate some of that money spend away from Zillow to the app, that's great. And it's all great from there. So it's just
Boom.
moving money in
It's
better
all
places.
gravy from there.
It really is. I mean, you're building your own Zillow app, you're running your own ads, you're doing your own stuff, and you're essentially making your own Zillow to capture the 40 to 50% that Zillow would take away from you in the first place.
Wow.
So, yep.
Mind blown.
Mhm.
Mind alone. So, do you know what your agents are doing when they see those warm leads on the
Mhm.
app? What's their system?
So I've made a kind of system for them. I expect them to follow up with them via phone call and text message within 48 hours. And then if, and again, this is standard cold, that's not cold calling, but it's kind of warm calling. But if someone doesn't pick up the phone or text you, that's okay. Just keep calling and texting. They will tell you if they get annoyed. And that people have said, hey, I don't want to be represented. Cool. Not a problem. Or I'm just looking around. Sure. Not a problem. I have a Google spreadsheet, which is kind of, it's just easier for me to see, honestly. Google spreadsheet, they kind of have a list of like who's warm, who's not gonna work, and then I
Yeah.
kind of check it up every single 2 days or so to see how things are going. But it's pretty simple. Just make it easy on yourself. And when they get the leads, they obviously get notified via HomeStack. They take those leads, put them on Google Sheets, and they make the phone calls. And but there are some systems in place I have where it's like I want them called or texted every, if they haven't, if they've already reached out to them, I want them at least contacted at least once a week, if not twice a week. If there's no response, just kind of keeping up top of stuff,
Yeah.
especially towards the back end of the weekend, Thursday, Friday. They might be, if they're especially on the app looking, text them to be like, hey, if you're looking for homes this weekend, I'm available, stuff like that. So I want them to continue to contact them. And eventually, every agent's aware of this, is that you can text them for months, call them for months, and then you get the phone. They pick up the phone. Hey, it's funny that you're calling me. We're just talking about you looking at a home this weekend. Great, let me show it to you. There's been countless times where you right time, right place, but it's like I've called you 50 times, so it's like so you just got to keep doing it.
Wow. Wow. You wouldn't be surprised the amount of times that I'm talking to agents who have the app and they're
Mhm.
like, I got a lead I got a new user on my app. What do I do now? I'm like,
Yeah,
call them?
yeah. Call, text, send out scheduled notifications on every. I try to do every Thursday or Friday, just prepping for the weekend if they want to look for homes. So stuff like that. It's like that's what I try to do.
So like you're saying like sometimes like to you the agent you feel like you're being annoying. Not annoying or like
Yeah.
you're reaching out too much.
Hmm.
But to people in their daily lives, they're just busy. They're doing their daily
Yeah.
lives. Maybe they see a text from you, blah blah blah, and then
They
one
ignore
day
it, which
they're
is
like,
fine.
I
Yeah.
am.
Yeah, I'm fine being ignored, but I will, which is fine. I get that. We do this all the time for random things we sign up for, and it's like, but there are like, let's say there's a like HVAC company, and I used them once, but I'm on their text message list. But then there's a time where it gets really hot, and my AC is not running that well, and I get a text message, I'm probably going to reach out to them first because they said, call us now and we'll get it scheduled we'll get you fixed in 8 hours or less than 4 hours. Okay, sounds good. I'm going to call them. I don't want to deal with like going to Google, trying to find the next HVAC person, look at
Yeah.
reviews, it's like, okay, they already texted me. So that's why I try to back end stuff or front end stuff on Thursday, Friday, prepping people's like people get ready for the weekend a lot of times for looking at property. And so if we want to go to open houses together, I'm more than happy to go with you, stuff like that.
And you can do that in the app too. You can
Yeah.
send
Oh, this one I use the app for everything like that. Yeah, 100%.
yeah, you can put in all of
Mhm,
your vendors,
mhm.
electricians,
Yep.
like plumbers, like all those people that you get asked about all the time, especially
Correct.
when you're making this niche
Mhm.
app.
Yep.
So people don't have to look through hours of
Yep.
reviews, right?
Yep. Exactly.
Another way to provide some value.
Yep. You got it.
Awesome. So is there anything that you would recommend to agents who are starting out wanting to market themselves in these different ways, whether it's on social media,
Mhm.
whether it's getting an app? What's the importance of doing things differently?
I would say the biggest thing is there's a lot of agents who will do the exact same thing, which is interesting. It's fine. I get it because if you're especially if you're new to real estate, but I'd highly recommend is just really do things different. And I don't mean like do weird things. I'm just saying like be knowledgeable in an area, niche down, and don't be scared to try things. And a lot of agents get caught because they look at other agents who are doing the exact same thing and they feel this is what an agent does. And if you go to any of my videos, I have never and probably will never ever do a home tour video. If you go to any of my content, I've never done a home tour video. And that's a niche for a certain group. And if you want to do that, great. But for my content, what I've done is I want to be the most helpful, knowledgeable person of the area itself. And that's why people that like it's funny walking through my like downtown sections, people stop me all the time. Like I got stopped at the airport the other day that the thing that drives me up the wall
Local
is
celebrity now.
yeah, I know. It's actually spoke at a celebrity thing. They like I was at a school event and like we want to bring out a celebrity and they brought me. I was like, that's a choice. It
Wow,
was
that's
funny. The
awesome.
but it's funny because the one thing I had to get over was how many people come up to me and talk to me like, we love your content. And in my mind, I'm like, but why didn't you use me to buy a house? But my wife had to continually reminds me that when they move here, they have friends here probably, and those friends probably have a real estate agent. She's very nice to remind me of just be like, because it's like for me, I'm like, I spend so much time, energy, and money getting people to watch my content, and then they go you buy a different house out with a different agent. I'm like, oh my gosh, but I digress. My recommendation for agents again is you really have to be a step away or a couple steps away and being different from other agents. Niching down is your best bet, whether it's people that are in senior that are in areas that need to go into senior care, that are first time home buyers, that are buyers agents only, that are focused on people going from college to home ownership. It could be focused on 1031 exchanges. It can be investment. And most agents have to start out very generic just to sample everything.
Yeah.
But eventually at some point you have to niche down, whether it's by city or zip code or your neighborhood. It has to happen.
What are your top 3 favorite app features about your
Yep.
HomeStack app?
Probably for me is I love the fact that people, when I know when I do have some clients have picked me as their agent. I love when I see that they're actually active on the app. And this is good for if you're doing like a referral program or team, that the agents feel like it's a, because you see when the clients are assigned to you, you see them using the app. It makes it feel like there's activity and things are happening. And so especially if people you've reached out to that have not reached back out or even talked to them, you see them on the app, it gives you hope that there's like, oh, this is still a good lead. I love that feature. The other side of it is I love the resource guide where it's like I can pass them all, like, here's my resources for my electricians and my HVAC and my lenders. Huge win, just because it makes the basically, if you're the agent, it makes it seem like you have your stuff together, which you do, of course.
Yes.
And the other thing is, I do really love the push notifications, just because it's a fastest way to get in front of a lot of people at a very economical rate, that you can get ready for the weekend. So that's
Yeah.
one of my biggest, funnest things.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And why would you recommend HomeStack to other agents?
Biggest reason that I always recommend HomeStack, obviously to myself and of course other agents that I interact with every day, is one of the biggest things that I realize with agents is they give away control or resources, or they all the time. They give away their power to Zillow. They give away the power to Real.com. They give it away to their brokerage. They give away their team. Every day there's people wanting to get in agents' pockets and ecosystems. And it's like this, the HomeStack app is a solid way to have your clients under your umbrella, under your control. You see what they're doing. You're able to interact with them. You're able to help them, to communicate with them, to be a resource, to build relationships. And if this is a perfect way for agents to continue to build out their client base, and if they ever want to build a team or have a referral network, they can start referring that stuff out. So it's kind of a very easy way for solo agents to build their clientele base and make themselves look great, and then eventually with the ability to then transform into a team or even some sort of referral network in the near future.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of growth potential there.
Mhm.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Philip, for hopping
No
on with
problem.
us today. Where can everyone follow you, find you, reach out?
Yep. So you can find me on and type in all things NWA or Phillip Shepard anywhere online, and I'll be in TikTok, Instagram, sometimes Facebook, but mostly YouTube. But you can always email me at Philip double L, not single L, at allthingsnwa.com. So yeah, or call me.
Awesome. I love it.
Yep.
We'll link everything. And thank you so much for being here with us today.
All right. Have fun. Thank you.